Hi. Thanks for turning in your TED Talk speech outline. I think you're on your way to preparing an excellent speech for your TED Talk that you're going to present to your chosen audience at the at the end of this month. To start off with, before I start giving you the feedback about your introduction, body, and conclusion, I want to highlight I'm so sorry about these dates here. I thought I'd uploaded the correct file, but I must have just clicked on the one above it. So I apologize for that and hope it didn't cause any confusion. And as I read through your outline, it seemed like you did a great job. So hopefully it wasn't too stressful or didn't cause any confusion. So let's go ahead and talk about your intro, body, and conclusion. So your introduction, it has the 3 essential elements of a good speech intro. You have your attention getter. It seems very conversational. I like the idea that you're asking these questions. I think that will engage your audience and help them to feel that you're speaking directly to them and that they're a valuable part of your speech. Your purpose statement is very clear. I like how succinct it is. It's not a paragraph. It's a sentence. Perfect. And your preview of your main ideas, again, really straightforward. And I think that having a preview will help your audience to know what to listen to as you continue to talk about interview and communication skills. So excellent job. I know preparing a speech can be a bit more repetitive than writing a paper with that very explicit introduction, body, and then the conclusion again. And the reason being is because we only got the one chance when we're giving a speech, and so it needs to be incredibly organized and really easy for the audience to follow. And having that preview of your main ideas, letting your audience know what you're going to talk about, then saying it, and then reminding them what you said in your summary. This is a really helpful way to help encourage listening, active listening, and then also to help audiences to remember what your main ideas are. So nice work. I noticed as I was looking that some of your transitions are still blank. So when you are revising these preparation notes and to turn in your final version with the assignment with your TED Talk presentation, please go ahead and prepare those transitions. And this one right here between your intro and the body would simply say, let's begin by looking at the essentials of preparation or something along those lines. So your first main idea is the essentials of preparation, but I notice you don't have anything written here. So you might want to go ahead and add that there at the very least so that you, when you're going over your draft, can double check that all of your supporting material and details align with that main idea and are definitely there to help your audience know and appreciate the skills needed to prepare when you're preparing for an interview. Your specific details are all very thoughtful, very well organized, and to me, I think they do align. Use your manners, and some of these things seem like common sense, but it all just depends on what people have been taught or what their experiences have been. The one thing I noticed, so here within this main idea, and then even in your second and your third main idea, is that you have a lot of really good ideas, but it does seem very much like a list of things. And when you're giving a speech, you want to really elaborate and create more of a nuanced understanding of things. If you just list things, that can be really dry, and the audience tend to kind of float in and out with their attention. So when you're between now and when you present, be thinking about ways that you could add some creativity to this presentation or generate audience interest in it. Asking questions like you did in your intention getter is a great way to do this. Another way is to share personal stories or just short stories in general. People tend to like stories, especially when they're told well. Jokes. I don't know if that fits within your personality or not, but think of ways to bring your style and your personality into your speech so it's more engaging and more personable. And this will help the audience to feel valued, and also it will help them to listen, because we know listening is harder than we think, and if we are personally invested in the topic, we tend to be better listeners. So my recommendation would be to add a greater variety of supporting material. And also, I noticed going through your main ideas, you don't really have any research at this point. And so this is a research presentation, and just like a research paper, you are going to need to go to the library or go online and find credible sources to help you elaborate on your ideas and show how your ideas connect to other communication scholars and to current ideas in the field. So this is what you're going to want to do, this with the intention of letting your audience know that you're not just giving your opinion, you're giving really credible data that will definitely help them in their interview skills. It's not just you giving advice, but it's you sharing best practices within the field. So this assignment, if you scroll down here to your reference section, you'll notice there is a minimum of 5 credible sources. And right now you don't have any, which is okay since this is still in the draft stage. But for when you turn in your final draft and when you give your final presentation, you're going to want to include those 5 sources. And not only are you going to want to list them there in your references, but you're going to want to include them directly here in your main ideas. That way, 1, the audience will know that you're not plagiarizing. 2, your audience will have a greater appreciation for the research and for your credibility as a speaker, and which is kind of important in this day and age with the fake news and all that stuff out there. And then 3rd, it will help your audience to see how your ideas are connecting to the current research in the field and with on interviewing in particular. So hopefully that wasn't too much deal. If you go to the DACC library, so if you just go to the DACC website and click here on the library tab, a screen will come up like this, and you'll notice that if you go to the find, you're going to see a way to search for articles and books and all of these kinds of things. And if you click on articles, it'll take you to, let me just move this window a little so you can see, maybe. It'll take you to a search engine, and you can type in here, let's just type in interview skills. And let's see what happens here. So you'll have to log in. And you would just use your NMSU email. And then all of these really cool articles come up. And they're mostly, you're going to see ones that are from communication, some from the medical field, from business, because interview does kind of cross disciplines, since it's essential to get a job regardless of what field you're getting in. So you can kind of scroll down and see if anything in particular looks interesting, and kind of get is there communication skills at job interview? This would be a great source for your presentation. So here's the title, Communication Skills at Job Interview, Pedagogical Insight into the Problem. And it's written by Jay, and I'm not sure how to say this last name, but it looks like Agiva. And it's a Russian scholar. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of things available to you. Hopefully you find, I'm such a nerd, I'm like, I want to click on it right now, but you're the artist behind this presentation, and I know that you will find sources that will help you to communicate the message that is your attention. And please know that the feedback I'm giving you it's coming more from like a coaching perspective. So I'm not being judgmental or thinking, being critical. I'm more just like, okay, how do we take this to the next level? Because I'm excited about where you are in the class and how your communication skills are improving. So after you add a variety of supporting materials, add your research into your presentation, I think you're well on your way to a really good speech. So your conclusion here is great. You have the 3 essential components. You have that summary. And again, I know it's repetitive, but it's really important for your listeners. You restate the purpose of your presentation, and then you have a memorable ending. And it's really, I like the ending. It's very personable, and I imagine your audience will really like it, that you've kind of established yourself as someone that they can go to if they need help when they're preparing for an interview. And then, of course, you'll list those 5 sources for your final preparation handout that you'll submit with your TED Talk speech. All right, one more thing. Before you give your TED Talk at the end of the month, you're going to need 2 presentation aids. So usually when people give a speech, they tend to include a PowerPoint or some sort of slideshow like a Prezi. and a handout. That combo is great. You can definitely use it here for your TED Talk. I'm not sure about the environment that you're going to be giving your speech, or even who's going to be in the room with you when you present. So think about who your audience is going to be and the space that you're going to be presenting, and use something that best fits that occasion and will help you to communicate your message to your audience. You can use that PowerPoint handout. You can also use a prop or a poster or even a video clip if you think that would be helpful. Just keep in mind that the speech needs to be 5 to 7 minutes long, and so you need to talk for at least 5 minutes, and that would be showcasing your public speaking skills. So if you wanted to include a video, you could have one be for like 45 seconds long or something like that. And I look forward to seeing what you decide to do. I think you're going to have a great speech. Your intro, your body, conclusion, you're definitely putting your time into developing it. It's very thoughtful and it's coming along. If you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to send me a message through the Canvas inbox. I'm here to help as needed. Thank you.